Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, November 5th, and we are continuing to climb here. Something I want to say about the markets here. Here we were resilient, right? We came down, felt painful, came through the 50, inverted head and shoulders right there. Here we were resilient, and here we're showing strength. So one thing I do want to point out real quick is our volume has been a little bit up and down, right? Yesterday we actually came in and put in a little bit extra volume on the futures, right? On the futures, not so much on the SPY. But look at this. We're showing strength here. We're out of earnings. We just found out this morning that Pfizer has
Tesla,
a COVID pill that will cut hospitalization and risk of death by 89%. That makes us feel good. That'll, gives us a nice little boost. The rest of the vaccines not doing so well on that news, but Pfizer's up more than 12% this morning. Okay, but there it is. BTC catching, Bitcoin here catching the 20 still. We're still in this range. I'm looking to add to Bitcoin here, or add a Bitcoin, probably coin play here up over this downward trend line. But still holding in a nice range. You can see a very clear level of support here at the 559, about 59.4. So good look there, right close to the 60,000 mark. So looking good. All right, let's hop into a few charts real quick off earnings. Uber, I would take a look at Uber here as it continues on. This morning it had a mixed session, or a mixed report, but it is moving here pretty nicely. So on any of these, I would always look for an opening range breakout. This will be above the 20, and so we have like this little area. We will be just above the 20. We do have this resistance sitting at 46.55, but beyond that, I'll take a look at some 50 Uber calls. Okay, ENPH, several of these names are right back on the list because they've just been continuing to perform. In ENPH, one thing I said I really like, open candle, right? Open candle yesterday, put in a high, looking for continuation in ENPH at the 240. Chewy paid well for some of you yesterday. Look at this sucker, right? Just came in and boom. And several of you were able to take profits on this, but now we're right here at this gap period. New setup coming in, looking to test the gap and move above that 200. Lots of room in Chewy. Really like it here. I like both the 80s and the 85s. We'll see which one kind of plays out after the open. Probably leaning a little bit more toward the 85, since we'll already be, if we continue up over the close of yesterday, we'll be in that 80 strike already. So, but either one of those look really good. Another one we were watching that kind of would catch and then didn't, and then ended up closing high of day here, AFRM. It really kind of toyed with me all day. Kept trying to watch it for a move over this 165.60. Clearly did that, made a nice run up here. Looking for continuation as they move closer to earnings at the 180 strike. Nike and Dick's Sporting Goods. Going to talk about both of these. Nike would like to see a little bit of a rest, a little bit of a pullback here to about the 174.50. If we don't get it, anything over yesterday's high looks good. And looking at the 180s. Now, I mentioned Dick's Sporting Goods because they do have a very tight partnership with Dick's Sporting Goods and some exclusive agreements. Dick's Sporting Goods put in a nice insight candle. It is on the downside, which I didn't really love, but looking for the reversal back up above this fib line at 133.60 in Dick's Sporting Goods, and looking at the 135s there. These are all in December, by the way. Chip sector, pretty much pick your chip and let it go. AMD, NVIDIA, all put in big moves. Marvel, any of the chip sector, a lot of these are looking to make new highs. SMH is the ETF there, so maybe a little bit safer of a play as they make all new highs. Now, here's one thing I will say about the market. This is not a doomsdayer. It's not a Debbie Downer. It's not any of that. Markets have been incredibly strong. They have continued, right? They have just continued on, waiting for a little bit of a market break. That's something I would look for as you go, as we get closer to the close today. Do you want to hold it over the weekend when honestly, odds are just in the favor of taking a break or taking a pause, taking a little sidestep here. You maybe consolidate for a little bit. that is very much something to consider here as we move forward, and how much you want to hold overnight, over the weekend, whatever. So take a look at that. Cost, they announced their October sales, and of course it's Costco, big volume, Gap, and Went. Anything over yesterday's high or yesterday's close to test yesterday's high looks pretty good at the 520. I know it's pretty expensive. Etsy came out with their report, big move off of that. Look for a bit of a pullback and then a continuation. I like the 280s. Path, P-A-T-H. Sorry, P-A-T-H. I've not actually traded this one, but it came right back up over this level we had in here before that we couldn't surpass. We poked into this gap period and looking for a move to this trend line. Now this trend line will be the resistance because it was the support here. See that? And then it gave it away. So that's why that trend line is drawn in there. I like Path at this 60 level. Now there's a bunch of other ones that came up on the list. Adobe, ON Semiconductor, Net, Cloudflare, MCHP, Microchip Technology, Lilly, but Lilly will be pulling back, I think, a little bit here this morning. LAC, new, both of those, the basic materials area. Looking through the list here, Amazon. We actually talked a little bit about Amazon yesterday. AMAT, and I did mention Adobe. So a lot of these things coming in. I'll put the, I actually run this pretty fancy little scan, which is not really fancy, but I will put the, in the chat room, I'll take a copy of the full list here and put it in there so you can take a look at some other names. I just picked the ones that I tend to play and the ones that had good options. All right, that is it for me this morning. Remember, next week I will be out all week. So if you have questions, make sure to send me a private message. I will definitely be checking those. I'm not on vacation, so I will definitely be able to answer questions and maybe pop in the room from time to time. I won't be in a ton. You know, as we, with this Pfizer news, definitely take a look at any of the get out of the house reopening names. So all of your travel sector, hotel sector, fun sector. I know that sounds kind of weird, but the fun sector, you know, anything that you can do vacation wise and getting out and planning those Christmas and holiday vacations, you know, take a look at all of those stocks. They are all moving up very nicely here this morning. So lots of plays. Play it safe, though. Don't get too excited. Don't get overweighted going into the weekend, and know that a pullback is probably coming here in the not too distant future. Don't worry about a pullback. Just play for it. All right, that's it. Have a good day.